Hiyu, King here, and it's time for Pokemon Guess That 10th Generation. A series where I guess what could be the 10th generation of Pokemon. My guess this first time around for what it could be called is Pokemon Rise and Fall. Now, I ain't the first one to come up with this title, but I thought it'd be a cool one for Pokemon to have. And I already have the premise in my head for what it could be about. Cause you see, this 10th generation of Pokemon series could fully be based around flying type Pokemon. And we've had some amazing birds in the past, but why not add a few more and make them the vocal point of your 10th generation? And having it be called Rise and Fall for how birds can fall in the air for an aerial swoop, or rise up for a steep climb. I think the name can make a lot of sense because of that, and make a lot of flying type Pokemon fans excited. As well as getting people who weren't into flying Pokemon into them. As for where the region this 10th generation would take place, because as we know, various regions in the Pokemon world are based off of real life locations in our world, I thought why not have this region be based off of the various bird islands in our world, like say Chile's. And we could even call the region Floto, like similar to Johto, but sounding like the word float, like floating, like flying. And the lore behind the name could be because the region could have been missing from the Pokemon world for 800 years. Where could it have been? Floating in the sky. A literal flying island full of flying type Pokemon. With the starters of this region all being the basic fire, water, and plant, but all starting off as non-flying types. You could have a fire penguin named Bumpin, like Bunsen Burner, who could slide on the ground by melting it with his intense heat. You could have another water duck Pokemon, but one that's even cuter named Duckcoat, who could be called so because he has a literal second layer of skin that's waterproof and looks like a raincoat, and loves to splash around when it rains and gains special power boosts from it. And the third and final starter Pokemon we could have for the Floto region could be called Grunner, which is short for Growrunner, which if you replace the Grow with Road is Roadrunner, a plant-type non-flying bird Pokemon, who could be known for not just his speed, but how he plants seeds across the land to enable for widespread plant life growth. With all of these starters starting off cute, of course, but all aligning with the same theme with starting off as non-flying types, but then, after evolving into their final forms, gaining the ability to fly and becoming part flying types. And comment down your ideas for what their evolved forms could be called. But with new regions must come new enemies. And I thought it'd be simple and clean if this new enemy team could be called Team Bird. I mean, it's straightforward and tells you exactly what they're after. Flying type bird Pokemon. Which this new region could be filled to the brim with. All these different types of bird Pokemon. With the examples you see being drawn by talented Pokemon artists with their names in the images. With there being a lot of possibilities for different types of flying type Pokemon, even if they're not flying types, they could still be inspired by birds. And you, as a new Pokemon trainer and explorer of this mysterious new region, would have flocked to this island just like everyone else, to not just catch new flying type Pokemon, but to also unlock the secrets of the Floto region. Like how does it float in the air and where was it these past 800 years? Secrets and mysteries that are safeguarded by two legendaries of this new region. With the first one being known as Seastern, which are the words for the compass directions of Southern and Eastern fused together, and is a giant water and flying type bird Pokemon that looks like it's made of the ocean. Which on the other side you have the region of Floto itself, which turns out to be Nestern, a combination of the compass direction of Northern and Western, and is a giant ground and flying type bird Pokemon that in reality makes up the entire island of the region of Floto. Because it'll be revealed that these two giant legendary bird Pokemon are guarding two halves of a legendary egg, with each of the two having a half respectively. With the reason also being revealed as to why Floto floats far away from the ocean being that if the two halves were to ever meet, they would create a giant white egg that would hatch and give birth to the holy Pokemon, ruler of all breath, Saint Trangle, the legendary angelic Pokemon, who, like this example shows, looks like a giant angel-like bird Pokemon, who is also legendary and extremely dangerous because he can control all the airflow in the Pokemon world. So, if he ever decided to, he could cancel out everyone's breathing all at once. which is why he was sealed into an egg and the two halves were separated between Nestern and Seastern. And also why Nestern stays so far up above the clouds from Seastern to keep the two halves from ever being conjoined. So as Nestern rises, Seastern falls, as another reason why this Pokemon 10th generation could be called Pokemon Rise and Fall. If you're a Pokemon fan, comment down your thoughts on the ideas I presented to you. Ring that notification bell so you know first when videos like this drop, and like, share, subscribe, and follow. Thank you. Stay great.